Hello everyone, this is Evie the Sponge Reviewer here, and tonight I'm here to give you guys my review on the brand new SpongeBob SquarePants episode for Season 14, Buff for Puff. So this is part of Nickelodeon's Gobble Wobble Week, which they're doing a whole week of new episodes of SpongeBob and other programmings, but I'm here to focus on the SpongeBob stuff. So in this episode of SpongeBob, A Buff for Puff, Mr. Krabs and Mrs. Puff are out on a date at Goo Lagoon, and so basically they're out on a date, and so Larry the Lobster ends up rescuing Mr. Krabs during a freak drowning accident while him and Mrs. Puff were out for a swim, and so because of that, Mrs. Puff then falls in love with Larry and gets all the attention, and this makes Mr. Krabs very jealous. So in order to win Mrs. Puff back, Mr. Krabs decides to work out at Larry's gym so he can impress Mrs. Puff in a way. So this episode has many similarities to past episodes, in my opinion. Ripped Pants, for example, is an example. It's because that in that episode, Sandy and Larry were somewhat getting much of attention. Well, the better way to describe this is that Sandy decides to have an attention for Larry, and it embarrasses SpongeBob, and he gets upset about it. And another episode idea that this episode takes inspirations is Larry's gym from season 9, where Mr. Krabs goes out to work out at the gym. And then the last similarity is Shell of a Man from season 4, where Mr. Krabs ends up stealing Larry's shell, basically to impress Mrs. Puff and all that stuff. So overall, this episode was decent. It was a decent episode. It wasn't anything all that crazy, but there were some interesting elements that were unique, such as Mrs. Puff basically Larry the Lobster, someone having a crush on Mrs. Puff, which is a kind of a new concept, is because we've never seen Larry fall in love with anyone in the show up until this episode, if I don't recall correctly. And we also get to see Larry and Mr. Krabs' shell. That's something new. So this episode does sprinkle in new ideas to already existing concepts, which freshens the ideas in a way. So yeah, so overall, Buff for Puff, in my opinion, was another decent episode of SpongeBob for the 14th season, that is. Alright, so that is my review. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the episode We Heart Hoops. That's coming out tomorrow. So I'll give you guys my review on that. So this has been Eva the Sponge Reviewer. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with We Heart Hoops.